Hi, I'm Christina Shivers. I'm the 2023 Ventulet Next Fellow here at Georgia Tech.
Hi, my name is Patrick Kastner. I joined the School of Architecture earlier this fall as an assistant professor.
It's the holiday season and you may be surprised, but architects have opinions on gingerbread houses.
And if you look around, we're here at the Digital Fabrication Lab, which, as you can see, it's actually large enough to build an actual house in here, which is pretty exciting.
My expertise is in environmental design and how architects and designers formulate value in their designs, their constructions, and the built environment. And what I see here is a rich potential to really investigate and question how we design our built environment, how we construct it.
So in my research, I think a lot about outdoor thermal comfort and energy in the urban realm. When I look at these, what we would be thinking about is how you would situate them in the urban context to really drive sustainability forward.
So what we have here is a sheet of pre-assembled shingles or bricks. And I would tell my students to potentially begin thinking about not only how this is assembled, but where the materials come from, and question if they could actually begin to change the choice of materials or the way they're put together to begin to think about more responsible ways of constructing in an environmentally challenged world.
Yeah, so after we arrived at a choice for a material or several, we could actually think about how they behave over the year, for example, in a particular climate. So let's assume we had two of them or several. I'm actually currently working with a student of mine on developing a software tool that can simulate how an assembly of different materials might behave thermally and how that would, for example, affect the overall R value of a building.
But in reality, all of these pieces are actual gingerbread. So to truly construct this, or to think about actually constructing this, I would begin to think about where the sugar comes from, where the milk comes from, where the flour comes from, how much carbon was used for that to travel to the site of mixing it and baking it, and how much heat was used or gas was used, or what type of process of baking was used in making these pieces of gingerbread.
Another interesting thing to figure out would be, how would you actually connect these wall structures together to avoid thermal bridging, which is typically something that we don't like to see when we look at energy simulation or energy performance of buildings. So if we look at this prefabricated example, we can actually see this is held together by icing, and it seems to do a pretty good job at filling the gaps, except right here, which what I would expect is not particularly good performance, but yeah, if we did this a little bit more careful, I think we could improve this.
Right here are some tree gingerbread gummies. I believe these are green apple flavored. And I would begin to think about, in a design context, what species these trees are. What other species of gummy trees could they be planted with? What type of animals inhabit the spaces? And are these environmentally or ecologically beneficial to the context within which these gingerbread houses are placed?
So as you can see right here, we're looking at a very generic gingerbread house, which, as you might imagine, doesn't work very well for the Atlantic climate. So when it comes to my research, we would really need much bigger trees to provide the shading necessary to achieve good indoor comfort, for example. So I'm not that happy with what we're seeing right now.
And I would consider thinking about the gingerbread houses from a different standpoint of prefabrication, maybe beginning with much smaller pieces. Maybe thinking about how to push the tectonic detailing of these gingerbread houses much farther forward, so you don't have these little gaps that open up or these kind of imperfect angles that occur.